Be Frank Network. Welcome to the Happy Never After podcast. I'm just going to do this so we can start talking like normal people.
We're two strangers talk to each other.
We're not strangers.
No, we're not.
I feel like we were just about to start a good friendship and then
the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because we did that terrible show, I want to say...
what show was that?
Black Cat.
Oh, my God. But it's like hilariously terrible.
Oh, yeah. But I was like, Mara's a respectable comic. Cool, she's here. And then I went up and bombed, and I was like, I got to go.
I know.
Thankfully, I had another spot, but it was either way, it would have been one of those bombs where it's like, I just can't be here.
Well, it doesn't help that Danny gets so drunk and then just kind of rambles, and whatever momentum a comic may get, he definitely just like slams it down onto the...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. He's like, you're done with your shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was like around February.
Yeah, it was right before.
And then the pandemic hit, and then we were just friends on Instagram.
I know. Yeah, and then I showed too much on Instagram, and then I pulled it back because people got weird. And
people got weird about...
People get weird on Instagram.
Oh, absolutely.
I shut my Instagram off for a month, and it was like super healthy. And then I was like, this is part of the whole deal, with comedy. So I had to turn it back on, and because I was told I had to. And the first day I turned my Instagram back on, one guy messaged me, I want to drink your bathwater.
Whoa.
How much would you charge me? And then a fellow comic.
How much would you charge him, though?
I mean, how much does he have? What would be a happy price? Does
just
he pay for
bathwater?
shipping?
Yeah, well, you can slap... so it's like $313.
4 easy payments of $99 plus $400 to ship it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. A comic who shall remain nameless because I told him that we could be cool, asked me to send him a video of my feet.
Okay.
And I was like, no.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll compensate you. I was like, oh,
man.
No.
I'm so glad I am only into normal stuff.
Like what? What do you DM?
No, I don't DM. I'll like respond to stories or whatever, and then see if that like will get
any action.
Yeah. Usually no.
Well, it's because you're so innocent on there.
On Instagram
life.
or in... Yeah, someone was telling me that over this last weekend I was doing some shows, and twice a girl came up to me and like started flirting with me. Two separate girls,
okay.
2 separate shows.
You must have done well.
Finally. No, I think I think people are just like their standards are lower.
It's lonely.
Because they're like the pandemic is just ending. They're like, oh, I got to get all the dick before it's all gone or whatever. So
before
like, what
they
about
come
this
out
guy?
of their corona coma.
Yeah. It was like, this guy looks like he showered. But so I talked with the girls. I'm also so bad at talking to audience members in general after a show.
Okay, I think I don't know many people that are good at it.
Yeah, but I was thinking about that. I'll get back to this, but I was thinking about this because someone I was talking to recently was telling me that they like met Bill Clinton, and he was like he makes you feel like the most important person while you're talking to him. I also heard someone say that Joe Biden does the same thing.
I think Monica Lewinsky said that about him too. I mean, although it's facetious, like it's funny, but I really think she said that about. She's like, he's so charming.
Yeah, and I think like that would be so beneficial to comics
if they could learn.
If we knew if we knew whatever that like sociopathic skill was, like if we could figure out how to turn that on at the end of a show.
Yes, I agree. Sometimes when I have personal training clients that come from this podcast, not all, definitely not all, but some get like the fan eyes, like the googly fan, like,
yeah.
Oh my God, I can't believe I'm around you. I'm like, yo, I didn't shower. Like, I'm just a person. Come, let's just do this.
It's always so, because, I've been a fan of comedy for so long, and then I moved here a few years ago, and then I met all of the people that I was a fan of. And then, you realize, like, I'm taller than them. Like,
all your bubbles were crushed.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're all 5'6", and, like, and you smell bad, and your shoes suck.
Yeah, although every time I meet Mike Birbiglia, I freeze. I'm like, and he's like, "Can you just hold my jacket for a second?" I was like, "Yes."
Mine is for some, and I'm not even like that big of a fan of him. Sorry to say this.
He listens.
But he's very, it's Gerard Carmichael. He makes me go, it's him.
Gerard has that Bill Clinton.
He has that.
He has it.
He's so sweet.
He's so sweet. He sits and talks to you forever. He looks you in the eye. He makes that eye contact forever. He's so good. He's such a good person.
Yeah, it's if we could figure out how to be present to fans like that, that would be very beneficial to us.
Yeah. Not to sound really conceited but sometimes the dudes, they just want to fuck you right at the end. So
I wouldn't mind that if girls had that in their eyes.
They do. You don't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I have the confidence or whatever that personality trait is. Because I remember I was walking down the street this one time with an old roommate of mine. Just an average looking guy, a white dude with a beard. Couldn't differentiate him from any other person. And we were just walking down the street and he was just like, man, that girl gave me the fuck me eyes. That girl gave me the fuck. And he's just like, this happened like 6 or 7 times within the span of like 3 blocks. And I was like, thank God I don't have whatever that personality trait is that you have. But like, I could probably use a little bit of it.
Like the confidence that he thinks that the girls gave him. Do you think that they actually gave him fucking
I absolutely don't think that. But to go back to my story about the 2 girls that approached me, I was sitting in between 2 comics, and this one beautiful girl, gorgeous, came up to me and was just like, hey, I'm talking about, like, she's like part Filipino and was talking about that. Was like, oh, great, cool. And then Reggie Conquest was there, and he was like, Reggie was like, what the fuck was that? She was trying to talk to you. Like, she even lingered around for like way too long to try to get you to engage her. And I was like, all right, fine. And then I was like, fine, I'll go downstairs. I went downstairs and like exchanged info with her.
You did?
Yeah.
How did you do it?
Not slick at all. I was just like, hey, what's your Instagram? And then we like followed each other. And she was like, by the way, my name's blah, blah, blah. And then, oh yeah, I probably should ask that first.
What did you say to her over Insta?
I apologize for being weird. Cause I was like, sorry, I was weird upstairs because I don't know how to flirt with a girl in front of my guys. So, and then
she responded.
But I also am not sure if I got curved already.
You can't open with a sorry.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. You got to be like, boom.
What's an open?
What I did, well, I didn't know him.
Like, what gets you all juicy?
God, I mean, honestly, I have a COVID relationship.
I listened to a podcast.
Yeah.
Just because I wasn't sure if this was.
And he wrote me the cheesiest. Oh, if we were gonna fuck afterwards.
No, you and I. I wasn't sure if. Yeah, is that a part of this podcast?
Yeah. It's why we cut it down to 45 minutes. So he wrote to me on Instagram after I went on Kumia's show, and he said, the dorkiest thing ever. But I think it was more me, because he was like, I really enjoyed your whatever on Kumia. I think you're very funny. I think your photos are beautiful, but I think that you're prettier because of your personality. And I was like, he didn't have a shirt on in his Instagram, in his avatar. And so I go, do you have clothes? And then he sent me a bunch of pictures with clothes on, and I was like, oh, he's hot.
See,
Shit.
That's the only difference. It doesn't really matter what the opening line is. It's whether or not you're attracted to the person.
True. You're an attractive person. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but I'm never sure. I mean, I don't know. I don't feel... You think I work hard at comedy because I know I'm attractive? No. I work my ass off because I think I look dumb.
Okay, I just want to let you know that most of the comics, everyone's like, oh my God, he's so hot. They're not hot. They're really like, and they're not that funny. They're just like, that's all.
I wish we could say names
female
right
comedians.
now.
I know. It's mostly LA comics that are in my brain at this moment. Everyone's like, oh my God, he's so hot. I'm like, no, he isn't. He was just on stage and he wasn't even that funny. Like, what is wrong with us?
Yeah.
Every time we get a vagina and we see something on stage, we're like, oh, I want that.
Really? You think that?
Yes.
Oh.
It's very commanding being on stage, having a stage.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of courage to do what we do.
Yeah, but that's like the worst fucking compliment. When someone's like, "You're so brave for being up there and just standing there while no one laughed
to you
at
after
you."
every show.
How brave. That's like when your grandma says you're strong because you know how to carry a gallon of milk.
I actually hate it when people tell me, they're like, "Oh my God, you're so strong." I'm like, I don't want to sound like
I bet it's the same. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, come on.
They just are surprised because you're a woman
Yes.
and that you're strong.
Mm-hmm.
And then they say the same thing because I'm a weak looking man. And then I bravely called someone, gay looking, whatever, from the stage.
What'd you say to the other girl? What happened with the other girl at the other show?
The other girl came up to me and she was like talking. They were from like Seattle, and she was like touching my elbow.
Non-sexual touching,
which I was not even included into it because you get off stage and like your brain is somewhere else.
Yes, you're thinking about that half a joke that didn't work.
Mm-hmm. And so she's like was talking about like something about Seattle. I don't know. It was stupid. Once again, the comics around were like, "Wilfred, what are you doing?" We're all married, so it's not like we're gonna like. They were all like married or in relationships and everything, and they're like, "We're not gonna do anything, so you better go and do that." And I was like, "Fine."
So you went and talked to her.
And when I was just like, "Here's my number."
I think you just have to go. I think maybe you just don't like the girls. Did you like them?
That first girl, the first one, she was
hottie patati.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I actually might have someone I want to set you up with.
Oh, okay.
One of my clients.
Okay. It's a guy. It's the guy with the feet pics.
She's an attorney. She's doing well. Yep.
I end up dating like girls that are women, I should say women. Mm-hmm. They're children. They're girls in elementary school.
I think women like being called girls. I mean,
really?
Most of us do because that makes us feel small.
Oh, okay.
We are always striving to be.
Oh yeah, petite. And, yeah.
Yes.
And young.
Forever.
So I date girls that are usually like very successful because I think I look like I am.
You do have that look.
I look like I'm successful in comedy, but
I think you were wearing a sweater and a button down.
Yes.
At Black Cat.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's very studious.
I think I was even wearing suit pants at Black Cat.
Is that a normal thing? Is that what you're?
It used to be, and that was a thing of the time, and then COVID hit, and I have to relax my look because
no one's wearing suit pants.
Yeah, I don't want to look too like I'm trying too hard.
So you went to denim. No one's wearing denim.
Yeah,
I just want to let you know.
Yeah,
no one fits in their denim.
Yeah, I went to denim, and stiff denim too. This is the kind that you got to break in.
Really? Have you ever been relaxed?
That's a good question.
Do your parents love you? Or
that's also a good question. You're really getting somewhere. I was thinking, it was when I was listening to the podcast with Derek on it. Because Derek was talking about how his dad was
yeah, we got really dark with that one.
Yeah, I stopped listening because I was like, this podcast is making me care about Derek. I was like, I gotta stop.
I was actually gonna have him come and crash this in the last few minutes because he works right around here.
Oh yeah, he does.
I was just gonna be like, "Come, Wilfred's coming in," but I didn't want it to go into that "nobody loves me, my dad's dead" thing again.
I wish that I was there for his recording and be like, "Boo hoo, my dad's dead."
I know. I just put up Stuart Fullerton's and the title, because she's so chill about everything, the title of hers is Dead Dad. I was like,
Dead Dad in the
hope
Holocaust.
You're
not offended. I don't know if with my parents, they're immigrants and they worked really hard, so they eventually they went from very low class to middle class, but it takes a lot of sacrifice to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that sacrifice was spending time with me.
Are you their only?
No, there's 5 of us.
There's 5 of They
Yeah.
could have made less kids. They wouldn't have to make so much money.
Yeah, but they really liked the other ones. No, but they didn't have time. They didn't have time for any of us. So they like my 2 oldest brothers are 10 and 11 years older than me. So
Oh,
like
geez.
they were. I was like I was raised by a village to an extent. But
Where is this village?
in Seattle, it was just
Oh.
like by my family and like cousins and grandpa, like everyone was around.
So you got along with
to
them.
raise me. Yeah. They never taught us how to show love to each other.
So they didn't hug you?
Definitely didn't really hug me, and also saying I love you was like uncomfortable to them. Like when I say I'll say I love you to my friends so easily,
Right.
but to them, like it probably is easiest to say I love you to my friends than some girl I don't like, and then my parents.
Yeah, I don't think I've said it to my parents either. I'm always like, "Okay, bye."
I remember the first time my mom piloted it.
When she was like,
she was on the phone and she was just like, "I'm gonna throw an I love you at Adam," and I was like, "What was that?" And then I was shocked, and I was like, "Oh God, I think I have to say it." I was like in 5th grade. I was like, I have to say it back right now.
"Did you say it?"
Yeah, but it was so hard coming out of my mouth.
Oh, it gets so awkward. Well, maybe you just didn't even mean it because you'd really have a connection with them. Because
Yeah,
if you mean it, it's easy to say.
but I don't know. I know what love feels like romantically. And
Have you been in love?
Yeah,
And you're sure?
I'm positive. Yeah,
Okay.
years ago.
Who was this person?
There've been a few candidates.
Ooh. What's
yeah.
your biggest heartbreak?
Probably happened a little over a year ago.
Okay.
It was just someone that like I was friends with, and then like we were talking a lot, and then we realized like we were she's in LA. We realized like we had feelings for each other, and she was like, I don't think I can. I need to not have feelings for you because I'm also 33 and like I want to have kids and be married. So like I was like, oh, totally. I totally get that. And then like we stopped talking to each other and I was like, wait, I think I liked her. Shit, I liked her. And then we started talking again, and then it was a great bond.
You didn't want to make babies with her?
I just couldn't go to LA.
How come?
I had just gotten here. And like I also love New York.
It's weird that you love New York.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like people are not in love with New York anymore through this. I feel like a lot of people had an epiphany and they were like, you know what? I don't need it.
I get that. I fell in love with New York more through the pandemic.
You did?
Yeah, because there was this like sense of like we're all doing it, we're all in it together in the beginning. Like it's no longer like that, and you can kind of like pick out, you know, some. Now it feels like there's selfishness every once in a while.
Not every once in a while. A lot. Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It has permeated New York again. And I think that's what I'm feeling. I'm like, people are so entitled. Like, get out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the pandemic hit and it was like, we were like, everyone was stuck in their apartments. We were doing like, people were, you know, banging pots on rooftops and everything.
Oh,
like,
the clapping at 7?
Yeah. And,
yeah, that was sweet.
And I remember there was this dude who would like, this is when I was living in Bed-Stuy, there's a dude who like played the saxophone at 7, and it was like he played, you know, whatever beautiful song, and everyone was just still and listening to him, and I was like, this is gorgeous. This is like and I've never like seen a community of
I forgot about
strangers
those moments
come together like this.
I do also. I was trying to buy a house at the beginning of the pandemic, and then I lost it because it was like right at the beginning.
Yeah.
I was supposed to close March 7th, and then something got pushed, and so it was like March 15th I was supposed to close, and that's basically when the world shut down. So banks shut down, everything shut down, and because I was outside of my contract time, because it says, you know, you have so many days to close, the owners were like, we're done with this, and we get to keep your deposit because you're overtime.
What?
I know. So I had already given up my Bed-Stuy apartment.
What?
And I got, yeah. But I'm about to get to the gratitude part. People in New York, my clients that were not here, were like, just go live in my place for free. I'm not there. Go take it. I was like, that's so nice.
Yeah.
You just saved my life.
Yeah.
I was like, because I'm not working and I don't have a place to go. Like, who's going to want anybody to move in during a pandemic? So, that was, I felt like a lot of goodness came out of that.
I was wondering what was going on in your, Instagram post. I was like, you're in a new place every time you posted.
Yeah, I was. I lived in my client Sharon's, who's doing a podcast on this network called Eighth Light. I mean, that townhouse was amazing. I had Derek and his wife over once, but Derek's wife was very scared about getting corona. And I was like, I haven't been around anyone in months. Come over. They had this beautiful townhouse with a huge backyard right over the Brooklyn Bridge Park. So I was like, I can't believe. Oh no,
I was about to come over for barbecue there.
That's the one that Derek came over for.
Okay.
What happened with that?
I don't know. I get busy.
You got busy.
I get busy. Yeah.
Do you get busy as in like you change your mind and plans and don't want to go? I do that.
It's like I get overambitious about my day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, I'm going to do these 5 things. But the real truth is I can only do 2 at most. And I have to take a nap between those 2. Like today I've got this podcast. I'm going to go home, take a nap, and I've got a spot later. And that is a full-ass day for me.
I don't have a spot until the 28th, and I'm actually pretty happy about it.
Really?
Yeah.
I am so anxious about spots right now.
You like getting them?
Like getting them, and I'm doing pretty well. I am feeling like, I'm constantly like, the comedy scene's gonna forget about me.
I feel like you're that way about everything, though.
Oh yeah.
You have that like.
I have an air of forgetfulness.
No, you have that like anxious energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's what we can do. Get you to chill. Maybe that's going to get you all that puss, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, let's get that puss.
What do you call it?
Pussy? Is that what you're talking about? Or my anxious energy? I also call that pussiness, too.
It just sounds funny coming out of me because you're so proper all the time.
Yeah. I think that's why I get away with a lot of the things that I say on stage. It's because I have like a very NPR face.
You do. And your hair is combed perfectly.
Yes.
Yep.
And then I can say more outlandish shit because of this.
I saw dudes at the park that had their Vax cards laminated. And then they had no mask on. They're like, "What's up, ladies? What's up?"
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was like, oh, is that your flex? Is that your move?
Yeah.
Hard pass, guys. Thanks, though.
Yeah. You think I'm just going to try to fuck 1 in 3 Americans?
I mean, I'm going to, but not you.
Hey, 12 to 17-year-olds are now getting vaccinated.
Oh, my God. Did you see that? Matthew Perry. Do you know what Raya is?
Raya?
Yeah. It's like this very exclusive dating app.
Raya.
Yes. Is that how you say it?
That's the way I've heard it.
Okay, thank you. It's you have to be invited.
Yes.
It's like a whole thing.
And you have to pay.
Not as a woman.
Yes.
It's
always girls' night.
It's always girls' night. I am not showered. I never shower like during the day. I never try to get ready for work. I got a strict policy against not looking good at work.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And one of my clients' girlfriends came in and was like, "I'm going to send you would be perfect on there." I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" And then they sent it over. I spent about 45 seconds on it and I was like, no. Because it was just a lot of plastic bullshit on there.
Yeah.
But Matthew Perry from Friends, Chandler Bing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So equally matched with a girl, a 19-year-old girl on there, said extremely appropriate things, like pulled out a whole Wilfred Padua on her.
Hello, madame.
And she posted it as like, "He's sexually harassing me. I can't believe." It's like, you matched with him. You continued the conversation. He graciously stepped out.
Did it say 19 on her profile?
It's got to, right?
I don't know how that works.
I'm just gonna Google it. Come up with an interesting story.
Okay, well, this one time I was using the bathroom.
Oh wait, it didn't. I hit Matthew Perry and it came up
God.
his Wikipedia.
I'm running out of steam on the story. Using the bathroom and a ghost came by.
Raya. Okay, wait. Raya, after calling out Matthew Perry. Yeah, do you see this girl? I should have expected that would happen, says
That's what she looks
20.
That's what 19 looks like?
That's what 19. She doesn't look 19.
No. She looks like she's hiding 33.
Yeah, she might be. It's crazy. Anyway, it's completely, everyone's like, he shouldn't have hit on her because she's 19. So obviously, yes, you would know that she's 19. But who cares? Do you care about an age difference like that?
I do, in terms of like, I mean, if I'm just, I don't, 19 doesn't feel good.
For you?
Yeah.
How old are you?
34.
Okay.
I'd say the lowest I would have sex with, because there's a difference in sex and relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Lowest I'd have sex with is probably like 23, 24.
23, 24? That's 10 years. Okay.
And then lowest I would, like, relationship. I would definitely want the relationship to be much closer in age to me, because I just feel like there's, I mean, dating a 24-year-old and me being at 34, we're at very different places in life.
Yeah, but I mean, she's obviously 27, but she minimum.
Yeah, there's no way she's actually 19.
At 19, I married someone 16 years older than me.
Okay. How'd that go?
Yeah, it was good for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
It obviously ended, but
how long did that last?
A year and a half.
Here's the thing: I don't want, in terms of like what I'm looking for in a relationship, I don't want someone that I'm ever gonna condescend to.
Okay.
I want someone that like is going to like stimulate me mentally and, you know, penally.
Penally. I like pussy. My name's Wilfred.
Yes.
Okay, continue.
I just talk about sex like it's a sex ed course. I like to inseminate. And I think like someone who's just like, you have to live life to like understand like where I'm coming from and like what the things that like I laugh at. And I don't know, all my friends are in their 30s.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like whoever it is I'm in a relationship with to be someone that like is just engaging and gets me.
Yeah.
And it just feels like that age gap is too much of a difference.
Yeah, I think 23, 24 is when you think that you know everything.
Yes.
Because you've been in the workforce for a year. And so you're like, yeah, I've got this.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you how this goes. And you're like, oh, if once you get to this age, you're like, sit down, sweet child.
Yes.
You're fucked still for a while.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
27, I feel like, is when I started being like, okay, I think I know.
I'm getting something here.
I'm getting something because the last 3 years have been terrible. Like, I graduated from college into the recession in 2009.
So your life's been easy is what you're saying.
Yes. So those first 3 years, I was just like, wow, I was all that, like, you're such an important person and you're gonna change the world, all that shit that college feeds you.
Yeah, you could do anything.
Yeah. You graduate into the real world, and if you graduate into the recession, they're like, hey, we don't have anything for you to do.
What'd you go to school for?
I went to school for writing. I went and worked in education for 2 years and then went to grad school for writing and threw away even more money.
I was like, you could just write.
Yeah.
I think most people didn't go to school for writing that. Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I don't recommend. Hey, if anyone out there is interested in going to grad school for a thing that's not going to make you money, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Just jump into the network of people that you want to be around. Every writing like gig I've gotten was from stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
None of it was from having a resume.
You know what else does not need an advanced degree or a really strict resume is our favorite mobile puzzle adventure game, Best Fiends. One of my favorite sponsors. I love them so much. It is really great content for entertainment. You never run out of it because they're always updating it. It's awesome. There's always new characters. They're so freaking adorable. It's so cute. And it's a really cool strategy game. So it gives you that nice sense of closure every time you hit a next level, which is awesome. You can play it in the car. You can play it whenever you're bored. And we're all looking for new content. So this is a perfect solution. Go ahead and go to the Apple App Store or Google Play and download Best Fiends. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends. It's really amazing. I rode back from my boyfriend's parents for 3 hours, played it while I just wanted to be in silence for a few minutes. You know how that is. Just get your mind away from everything that's just happened to you. So download from the Apple App Store or Google Play, Best Fiends. That's friends without the R, Best Fiends. Okay, let's get back to this. So I just did this really cool gig with one of my clients. He made this like big group. I train all of them, most of them online. Anyway, they all got together in Chicago. I went to Chicago and trained them. And I had not known, I knew he was successful, but I didn't know that he had also sold a couple of movie scripts because that's not what he does.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I have a couple more that I'm going to finish. And I went, he's just doing it. Like, that's insane. And then another person that was there that is highly successful in that industry said the difference between him and everyone else is he actually completed it.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Look,
Get your shit together, Mara.
Yeah.
Get your shit together, Wilfred.
No, I feel the same. It's even if you break it down to like stand-up, where it's like, oh, how many premises have we put in our notebooks but never finished? And you just have to finish it.
Yeah. How many sets do I have recorded? I can tell you 418 on my phone. Have I transcribed even a quarter of them? No. Should I?
Is that a part of the job?
Yes.
Transcribing?
I have to tell. Okay, so this is what Mike Birbiglia does. Okay. And he's very, what's the golfer's name? Tiger Woods. Thank you. I kept thinking Tony Woods, who's also a comedian.
Yeah.
It's a very Tiger Woods thing. So Birbiglia, after every show, he'll do 3 shows a night. After every single show, he does video and audio. He goes back, transcribes it, changes whatever needs, goes up to do the next show. Doesn't network in between, says hello for like 5-10 minutes. He just constantly is working. And that's why he keeps pumping out amazing content.
Yeah.
'Cause he's doing it.
Yeah.
There's no luck in this. There is a lot of luck.
There's a lot of luck.
There's a lot of nepotism.
Even in finishing a joke, I feel like there's luck. Because I'm like, oh, thank God.
I don't think so.
Whatever it was that granted me that thought.
That's your thought, though. Stop. You won't even give yourself any credit at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
You thought of it. That's your thought. It came from your brain. It's a computer in there. It's not, it doesn't have its own little thing happening.
But sometimes like a joke will just like write itself. I can't take credit for that.
Yes, you can, because that's a communication between both sides of your brain, your math and your creative side. And they both work together and like, oh, hey, I heard it. Yeah, that worked. Cool. Yeah. Thanks, guys. That's still all you.
I guess that is me.
We're having our Derek Humphrey moment where I was like, Derek, you do deserve love. I'm like, Wilfred, these are your words.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Suck it up.
That's
how you're gonna get more pussy.
I'll get more vagina.
Oh my God.
I don't think writing better jokes is gonna get me more pussy. Actually,
I don't think so either.
I think it's got to be just like confidence.
I think that might be worse.
Yeah. Lifting weights.
Well, can you please come on to my show, Muscle Spasms? We'll do a whole series for you. Wilfred gets swole.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I would love that.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I'll get you jacked.
Let's fucking do it. I was thinking about, because I'm way overdressed for this weather.
Yes.
And a lot of you.
Actually, it's going to change. You're prepared.
I'm prepared for the evening.
Yeah.
But I'm going home and taking a nap in between.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so this is I only came out for this hour and a half. And I'm just seeing everyone, everyone's coming out with their good COVID bodies. The ones with the bad COVID bodies, they're still hiding somewhere.
They're hiding, yeah.
But Union Square, everyone was like looking hot, and I was like, I gotta.
Average weight gain, 30 pounds.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's the average?
Average.
That means some people went over.
Went big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gained, I think, like 10 to 15 in the first month.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started working on the moving trucks again.
Oh.
And I was like, this will. And so I was biking to my jobs and lost that weight immediately.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was stressed, and so I wasn't eating. And then I ate a lot of broccoli, and that really doesn't have a lot of calories. So
yeah.
I didn't gain anything.
Oh, good for you.
Thanks. I gained a little, and I started doing like some hormone stuff to get all my lady parts to work correctly.
Oh, really?
And that fucks with your body.
Your pussy wasn't working?
My pussy works great. Just the uterus and stuff. I'm just like, I'd rather not do anything. So I was like, let's just see if this thing will work. Let's try and kick the old dust off. And that
it's like you got to blow off the dust on an old photo album.
Yeah. So
that's what your doctor did to you.
Yeah, that stuff that they give you makes you gain weight, and it fucks with your head at the same time.
Oh.
So you're like an emotional roller coaster, and your waistline is getting thicker. So you're like, oh my God, what's wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was really fun to be around for like 5 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you in the relationship?
Yeah.
During that?
Yeah. And he'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, oh, thank you. That really, like, now I know. I'm like, oh, it's that stuff.
Yeah.
All the hormones I'm on. He's like, oh my God.
So wait, when you, he sent you that DM, which didn't impress you. It doesn't sound like.
I don't know why I was curious. I never answered DMs positively.
I mean, was it because you saw that he was hot?
Honestly, he wasn't my type because he looks like a Guido. Like, he's all jacked. Like, I like nerds. I like tall, financial looking dudes. Like, that is if you look at my history, that's what you will see.
Okay.
And I have one Olympic triathlete in there, but all the rest of them, skinny nerds. And I was like, what does he want from me? That's what I was like, he is really hot and he's really jacked. What does he need?
Yeah.
And that's what I was like, this is too much. Also, this other guy that was on the Bronx Tale.
Yeah.
He, at the beginning of COVID, was like, let's fuck. And I was like, okay. And it was just like a little too much. It was very Guido-y. And I was like, yeah. And then I couldn't make a plan. I also was trying not to make a plan. And he's like, what the fuck? And then he like went off on these crazy amount of messages.
Whoa.
And I was like, oh, you're nuts. And then turns out he had killed someone before he was in the movie.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, thank God I didn't do anything with him.
Damn.
Yeah. So I'm really not a Guido gal.
Yeah.
I'm not a meathead dude.
Yeah, and then so but he sent you the message, you saw that he was hot, and then you were, I'm assuming you saw he was hot, then responded, or?
I saw that he was hot, and I can't remember what I wrote back, but it was like, yeah, okay, you're cute. And that's all I said. Okay. And then I really wasn't giving him a lot to work with. The
girl that I feel like curved me isn't really like giving me a lot to work with. And I like already, I was just like, hey, what are you doing next week? She was like, next week's busy, but maybe the following.
Okay, maybe the following. That's
like,
not curving.
I don't know. Like, I'm always like, if you're not giving me anything, then like.
So why don't you just say, okay, let me know when you're free?
I did.
Okay. So now we see.
Yeah, I guess we see.
Now we wait. It's a numbers game. You got to keep throwing it out to a lot.
Yeah, I don't like casting my net that often though.
I know. You need a nap in between nap casts.
Yeah. Fishing is actually a very nap-friendly activity. You throw it out there, you take a nap, and then you're like, oh, look, there's a fish on my hook.
Oh, dinner is attached to my string. So exciting. God, I never understood fishing. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know why I started communicating with him.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. He was entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he just kept things going.
Okay. And then how long was the back and forth before you got to a first date?
Well, he lives in Texas.
Oh.
And I am renting a cabin in the mountains. So.
He still lives in Texas?
Yes, he lives in Texas officially. We are trying to look for a place that's closer to the city together.
To this city?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think there's something about long distance that like really goes well for me, and it's that it provides this longing to be with a person, and it makes it, I don't know, some reason I associate that feeling with love.
I think that the long distance for me has been, we talked over Instagram about, it took about 2 days for us to talk on the phone. And then once we started talking on the phone, we were talking on the phone 4 to 10 hours a day.
Wow.
Yeah. And I don't want to talk on the phone.
I guess there's a pandemic, so what else is there to do?
That much. Yeah. I'd always be like, okay, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Can we go? Are we good?
Are you like talking, or are you like watching a TV show together?
It would be a lot of like, I'm doing laundry, letting him talk. He doesn't stop talking. Like I usually don't talk a lot. And he does a lot of
two podcasts.
I only like to talk about things
Your
that I'm interested in.
Your job is all talking.
I know. That's why I don't want to talk on the phone.
Yeah.
And so then he's like, okay, I'm going to come visit. And I was like, yeah. And then he showed up. He didn't have a return ticket. He stayed for 34 days.
Whoa.
I know. And the first day I took him to a wedding.
Wow.
Because he showed up a day late on accident. And I wasn't going to take him to the wedding because it was my clients that I set up. And I was like, oh, hey, I know you just got here and you're exhausted and you've been at the airport for overnight. But we're going to go to a quick wedding.
Yeah, real quick.
Super quick.
Weddings are always quick.
No, it was super fast.
Oh,
it was
really?
a COVID wedding. Yeah.
Okay.
So there was only 5 of us there. And so we witnessed, I was the witness. They got hitched. We did a little champagne toast outside and then went home. And the first day was weird.
Of course.
Yeah. But then the rest of it was like we'd been dating for years.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, it's like it locks in if it locks in.
Yeah.
I haven't felt anything lock in a while.
Yeah. We need to find you that.
Yeah.
I'm going to start a whole show about you.
Yeah. I was trying to
putting Wilfred in sweats.
Yeah, getting him to relax.
I know. Chill. Yeah, my client that I want to set you up with has your same energy. So I'm wondering if that would be good or if that would be bad.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. She's badass.
Okay.
Now, I've been training her for a while.
Oh, she wasn't before?
She was like, I don't know. And I was like, you became a lawyer at like 20? From Duke? I'm like, do you know how awesome you are? You live in New York? You moved here by yourself? I was like, fuck it, you're badass.
Oh,
and she's like, oh, you're right. I was like, yeah. So she's so cute. I love her. But during the pandemic, like kind of crazy time pandemic, right after the looting of Fifth Avenue, which is where my studio is, my fitness studio is right next door.
Okay.
All the looting was right here.
Yeah.
She got spit on. So a black lady spit at her. I was walking down to let her in because we could only have 2 people working in the studio at one time, a trainer and a client. And so we had to keep it locked. So I went down to go get her. She's Chinese. And a black lady...
Now I see why you want to set me up with her.
No. I only want to set you up with her because, she's...
You guys match.
Yes, you do. Not... what is it? Culturally. But...
Now we see Mara.
Your energy. I'll show you her picture. She's very hot. But yeah, and she was like, I don't think she meant it.
Oh.
See what I mean? Very Wilfred energy. And I was like, she fucking meant it. And I like storm the castle. And she's like, do I hold the door open? Do I come with you? I was like, go upstairs and wash your face. I was like, we have to take you to go get COVID tested now.
Yeah.
Because I was like, she spit at your face.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, spit. For those like 4 or 5 months, actually for the last year and a half, spit has been probably the most weaponized thing.
Yeah. And for good reason.
Yeah.
Because I know that surfaces, it doesn't transfer on surfaces, but
it's still spit.
Yeah, for sure.
And air.
Because it's the expiration, right?
Yeah, but that weapon is almost over.
Oh.
I mean, if everyone keeps getting vaccinated, but I'm vaccinated, so
Yep,
I feel very walking down the street now that I'm vaccinated. I'll walk down the street and I just have the mask like over my chin, and I'll pull it up when I have to go in somewhere. But it feels kind of selfish
to not have your mask on.
Yeah, and it's not that like I'm vaccinated, so I'm not worried about myself even giving someone COVID, even though they say that that's still possible. It's more that I feel selfish because, like, the way I think about it is, like, whenever someone went onto the train without a mask on, I was concerned.
Okay.
Back before I got vaccinated, I was concerned, and I don't want to trigger that concern for someone else as I'm walking by. But I still want to wear a mask because I got to keep this face looking pretty.
Well, the masks are ruining my skin, but I wear them everywhere. I think now in New York, especially, it's more of like I'm doing this for you. I'm doing it for each other still. Yeah. I got my toenails done right before this, and the lady that came in right after me wouldn't put her mask on. She was carrying it up. And the manager came over and was like, put it on or get out. And she's like, my toes aren't done. And she goes, we don't care. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, I'm vaccinated. She goes, I don't know if you heard my last statement. We don't care. Yeah. And I was like, woo, things are going to get hot in here.
Yeah, I love that. I love that energy.
I know. And she was this tiny, she's got this tiny little we should go there. So I got to introduce you. She's the cutest, tiniest little lady could be 19, could be 52. We don't know. And she's
Asian is what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
She answers the phone.
You can call these people Asian before, after, instead of having to describe around it.
She goes, I know, but she always answers. She goes, Spabis. Like that. I'm like, how does anybody even hear you? I've never made a reservation or an appointment because I'm scared of.
There's some
like,
places.
Hello.
There's some places because New York is so multicultural, and there's a lot of immigrants here who are still learning the language, but they own a business. There are some places where I'm like, you have to make the order online because you can't do it over the phone. Yeah, I live in Bushwick, so like I have that. I don't know Spanish. I took Spanish for 4 years, but
Me too.
I don't know it.
Sometimes I can understand it. A lot of times I can't talk back. I can't say the thing back.
I don't understand it. Like I feel like I just my brain just turns off when someone starts speaking Spanish.
It's like when someone comes over with the menu specialties and they're like, and you're like, I'm going to listen this time.
Yeah.
Every time you're like, fuck, I wasn't listening.
Actually, and I think it's similar to like when a girl talks to me after the show. I'm just like, I'm looking at your face. I'm totally looking at your face. But I am not registering all the subtleties of what's happening.
I often do the non-sexual touching at that point, and I'm like, I say it. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I just have to jot some notes down from this set before I forget them. And then I excuse myself because I didn't want to. I'm scared to talk to people.
Oh, okay. But then you do the non-sexual touching, which probably encourages more.
I think it's like, I'm not trying to discount you as a human, but
got it.
I have this thing going on in my brain, and it's time sensitive.
Yes.
So you're important. I don't want you to feel invalidated, but I have to go and do this other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, my brain is very time sensitive.
Yeah,
I've had so many thoughts, like, as we were talking, I was like, oh, I should have said that. Whatever it was, I should have said it because now it's gone.
Well, okay, we're a little over time, but I do want to cover this. Okay, so have you had any Asian hate?
In this period of time?
Or in your life?
In my life,
do you feel like
for sure.
it's for real?
I've had some. Nothing grand, but like I've had people say like, go back to China because they don't know, or Korea or whatever. They just like throw a country out at me.
And you're like,
that's close.
Do you think they're just doing it to get like something out of you?
Yeah, just because they're upset with me, and that's their easy way to like just dismiss me.
Got it.
It was usually like this happened more in Seattle. It was like people who were like homeless people or whatever.
Oh.
That were like, I remember this one time.
I was like, Seattle?
Yeah. There's this one time this dude was like hitting, not a homeless guy. This dude was like hitting on my girlfriend. I was like, hey man, you can just leave us alone. And he was like, it said like, go back to wherever, or like call me some Chinaman or whatever. It's like that shit doesn't hurt my feelings.
Okay, good.
Because I'm like,
you brushed it off.
Yes, of course. It's not like I had to hug my knees in the shower.
I do feel like people. So I was listening to this I'm trying to become more sensitive to the obesity epidemic, anti-fat body loving movement.
Now
situation.
That you joined the community for a little bit.
now that I put on my 2 pounds. I'm like, I feel you. Just kidding. I got my abs back.
Okay, never mind.
Okay. Woo! They were gone for like 4 minutes. So, well, I was listening to because I was like, all right, you don't know all the answers. You have a feeling about this. Like, I'm not really a big body positive movement person because chronic weight gain and being obese leads to all the problems, heart disease, diabetes, like everything that will kill you, shorten your life and make you enjoy your life less. And so I was listening to this podcast, and first of all, the woman, every time she took a breath, she'd go, and I was like, you can't breathe.
Her editor needs to edit that. Just like drop the mic on that moment.
I know. Like, just go through and cut those out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was like, and when I was in high school, I used to just get bullied. I was like, everybody got bullied in high school. Yeah. That was high school.
People used to call me Asia.
What?
I would get called Asia. I went to an all boys high school, so it was like we were all picking on each other.
That's like a frat boy thing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I don't think anyone that I went to high school with that called me Asia is like going out and beating up Asians right now. Nor do I think that I was ever like a
target of any sort of hate.
Yeah. But yeah, I've never been in a fight. Being picked on and like being Asian and like feeling like I'm below everyone else because I'm Asian has really led me to work my ass off it.
Wait, you feel less than because you're Asian?
I do.
Why?
Because I think society has made me feel
Y'all are
that
the
way.
Top earners and top in the education.
Yeah, but someone's bringing that percentage down.
That's
over
you.
Here.
That'd be
you. Yeah, but they all went and did STEM career paths.
Yes.
And I went into talking, which is talking in English, which isn't the strongest, which isn't our strong point.
Yeah, but can you imagine? You're bringing it down, so somebody else has to be making so much. Not to be an asshole, but
yeah,
they're killing it.
But I definitely feel like economically, sure, we're doing great. But I think social status wise, I feel like Asian men don't have the a respect in the communities that I dwell within.
Okay, first of all, I think that there's a huge shift that's been coming for a while now. Because have you seen all those China fashion trend things? And then they show all the the men just walk around China, and I don't know where they are because they don't ever say it in the videos. Their fashion is on fucking point? And you're like, oh yeah, I'd fuck that. Like
Really?
every time one of them walks past, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, see, I think that's new.
Yeah.
That's brand new.
It's a couple years. It's pre-COVID.
Yeah.
So it's a couple years old, but COVID is like a weird
and K-pop
bubble.
also kind of like elevated that as well.
Yeah.
So it's like within the last 3 years. But I've been an Asian dude with like the Asian dude stereotypes for the whole time.
Okay.
So like it's hard for me to shake that and feel like I don't feel like sexually desirable.
Oh, I think that's you. I think that's inside of you. I think that's not, it has nothing to do with, because I definitely don't get.
You get that from other, do you know other Asian guys that are like, oh, I'm collecting pussy tonight.
Yeah. There's
really?
A guy that I used to work with, trainer, Glenn Mantle, he'd walk in and we'd all be like, I will open it up for you. You just have to put yourself in there.
See, that's, I mean, but then he's already, he gets that reaction from people.
So good.
Yeah, I
don't know if I didn't share my feelings with others, but I feel like I saw other people that were just like drooling over him.
Yeah.
His wife, so hot. His 2 kids, this Romanian beauty, those 2 little mixed babies that they had. I'm like, look at this family.
See, that's the, I'm just like, ladies, anyone out there, just know that whatever this Asian seed is going to create a beautiful next generation. Like
stem cell.
Yeah.
Stem cell Giselle.
Exactly.
I know. Those babies are so freaking cute. They're gorgeous.
Yeah. Just let me put it in you.
You could have done that with LA Girl, but you didn't want to move to LA. So maybe you didn't like her as much as you.
No, and we're still friends, and I still really care about her. And I still think about she's the only person that I've ever dated and that like broke up with me that I think of in a positive light.
Oh,
like I didn't develop any spite or anything. I think she's a great person.
You hold a lot of.
I still really care for her. And the thing is, like, I am a comic.
Mm-hmm.
I have to do this, and I have to do it my way. And I think my way is in New York.
Do you think that? Because this is a thing that Dave and I get in fights about. Is he says I'm really stubborn, but do you think that's a comic thing? Like I only do things one way because that's the way I need to do it. But do you think all comics are like that? Or do you think more people are malleable?
I feel like we're pretty malleable if we think about it.
You and I?
Comics. As people. We have to adjust to rooms.
Yes, but that's something that we know we're going to have to do.
Yeah.
On stage.
I feel like I adjust to people too much.
Oh, you are very, what's the word? Considerate of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to like surround myself with the people that make me the best, my favorite version of me.
Which is what?
Like this has been like I haven't seen you in like a year and a half.
I know.
And this has been like so much fun.
I was thinking that we need to Zoom and do a follow-up because Alicia's waiting to do muscle spasms and I feel really bad for her going over at the time. But I do want to go through your heartbreaks because now that you said that you're spiteful about them, no, we got to know.
Yeah, look, hey, the pandemic's still happening. I can come back.
Okay, good. Let's do it. Let's make it more fun. Let's put it on video.
Okay. Yeah.
So we have to do it before this one comes out, though.
Okay. When does this one come out? We don't have to talk about dates and calendars on
God,
it.
we're nerds.
But this was
Maybe
like
we're not malleable.
See, this is how fun. Like when I was like, for a sec, you forget that you're just recording.
I know, that's why I was like, let's just record because it's going to be fun anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so you have a show tonight.
Yeah.
Where was it?
It doesn't matter.
Do you have any
I actually don't know
up?
exactly where it is. I've got nothing that matters. I'm just doing spots in New York, but I've got a podcast called Raw Beef with Sean Patton and TJ. It's very fun.
TJ?
Tanayo.
Oh. Yeah, got it.
Haitian
Love
dude.
him.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in forever.
Yeah, everyone loves him. And then now that I've been working with him, I'd love him, but working with the guy.
I would never do that.
Well, it's just like, you're working with your friends in comedy, and then you realize that, oh, yeah, we're all comics for a reason. It's because we can't keep another
We're
job.
so fucked.
But yeah, so I've got a podcast called Raw Beef. And then you just find me on Instagram.
Wilfred Padua.
Yep.
Padua.
Uh-huh.
Wilfred. Traditional spelling.
Wilfred, like the dog.
No, is that the big red dog? No.
No, there's that New Zealand show called Wilfred, and then Elijah Wood. Is that him? Is he the guy from Lord of the Rings?
Maybe we can have everybody. I don't know. Maybe we could have everybody send in like their most spiteful, horrible breakup, and then we can tell ours. Like we'll read one of the listeners, and then we'll tell. Yeah, because I've had some. Like, what's the worst shit that you've ever done to an ex as you were leaving? I've got some stories, and I feel bad about them to this day. Where I'm like, oh, I shouldn't. You know, when you actually can say the really hateful or do the really hateful thing, and then you get home and you're like, ooh.
Yeah, I've never done it. What
person.
I do is because I grew up Catholic, so I just keep it in.
Oh.
And then I pray it off.
See, when you get a little older, you'll be like, oh, fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been getting there lately.
Good.
Yeah.
We're going to get you there. And then you're going to see my co-host, and then you'll see that we'll get you jacked.
Hell yeah.
Getting Wilfred jacked. Our next series.
Jacking Wilfred.
For pussy. Oh, thanks for listening to Happy Never After, HNA Pod. Follow it on Instagram. That's where we'll put all of the information. Please send us your most wretched heartbreak stories, breakups, and then we'll respond and also share ours. So yeah, send those in to our direct message on Instagram. You can send it to me directly at Mara Merrick. And also follow all the podcasts on Be Frank Network. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.